What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. We are live with the T5S2 GT Final. 15 Final, 9 Final. Over here in the red. This is going to be a faction mirror match. Two very different lists. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. We are live with the T5S2 GT Final. 15 Final, 9 Final. Over here in the red. This is going to be a...
What's up, folks? Welcome back to the stream. We are live with the T5S2 Invitational, continuing the round of 8. This time with Grey Knights versus Dark Angels. I think a matchup that's going to be a pretty interesting one to pretty different varieties of Space Marines.
Here.
Give me one moment here, chat. I'm going to fix my overlay real quick. Okay, and we're off. Apologies for that, everybody. Let's dive into this game, because it should be a good one. Over here in the red, we have Headstrong playing as Grey Knights. I died in the wool Grey Knights player. I died in the steel wool, if you will, in the true silver ceramite wool. And I think pretty hyped that the faction is back to its former glory of being fairly strong in the Arcs of Omen format. Versus over here on the other side of the table, Paper, Nicholas Lochner, playing Blood Angels. Excuse me, not Blood Angels. They just look like Blood Angels because we have a bunch of Blood Angels models here. We are playing Dark Angels. We're getting as bloody as Dark Angels can possibly get. Dark Angels currently sitting at the #1 army in the game in Arcs of Omen. So it's going to be interesting to see if there is any technology to unseat them from that lofty position right up in there at the top. Today we are playing on Tear Down Their Icons. So there are 5 objectives on the table.
You guys are not touching the ruin.
1 in each quarter and 1 in the center. Players also have the opportunity, once they get to their opponent's territory, so the opponent's half of the table, to perform an action to plant a bomb, putting down another objective that scores them 4 points at the end of the game. Headstrong over here, relying on some Grey Knight's specialties, Teleport Assault and Purifying Ritual, alongside Raise the Banners High. We do have 2 objectives in easy access to each player's deployment zone. Unlike Secure Missing Artifacts, these objectives don't move, so they are going to be sat there for a while in these relatively defensible positions. Paper on the other side of the table, also with Raise the Banners High, but then taking Codex Warfare and Oaths of Moment. Now, Codex Warfare probably going to be a pretty strong pick against this style of Grey Knight's army because it tends to play a very MSU style. Speaking of which, let's talk about the lists. Exclamation point lists in chat, so that we can you can follow along. And I'll get a prediction up for the folks who are of the gambling persuasion over here on Twitch. For those who don't know, we are multicasting both on Twitch and YouTube. So you can follow along over on Twitch, and you can get access to all the fun emotes and voice lines and stuff like that.
On attack point.
There we go. Will I make any mid-season updates to the map to include vehicle bay door terrain pieces? I mean, the terrain features that are currently here. Don't get me wrong, Chad. I would like to. Right now, we are sort of in the WTC format terrain, so we're gonna be using terrain that is closely closely resembles WTC features. Anyway, they're not exact, obviously, but they're gonna be close enough. I have left, there are a lot more gaps in these terrain features than we typically see in WTC terrain or in other Ruin styles, so we've got a pseudo vehicle bay door style. Were I to totally redo maps, I would for sure create passable obscuring terrain. And that was the first season of T5S2 maps did have obscuring terrain with no vertical elements, or limited vertical elements, I should say, which allowed vehicles to pass over them. But those maps weren't, not everybody liked those ones. All right, we're talking about some lists here, chat. Headstrong, running Prescient Brethren, so gets access to Divination and the command point to reroll 1s to hit and wound with all of his Psyker units. Running a Brotherhood Librarian with the Psychic Epitome, so doing a bunch of mortal wounds. A Brotherhood Tech Marine, this one with Unyielding Anvil and Divination. So that Tech Marine is granting objective security to units within 6 inches. A Grandmaster and Nemesis Dread Knight, just the Psy Cannon. Servant of the Throne, Sigil of Exigence on that guy. So he is going to be able to teleport in response to a ranged attack, and once per game, turn his invuln save into a 3+ for the remainder of the round. And Caldor Drago, the great man himself, to drop off some Chapter Master buffs onto his friends. 2 units of just 5 Strike Marines, and then 3 units of Interceptors, 2 of 10, 1 of 5. All of them with Nemesis Force Halberds. This is a little bit of an interesting pick. I think that Headstrong's going to probably be wishing that he had equipped swords there. He does have 4 swords on his strike squads. But the swords giving him that 3rd pip of AP, going to AP3 rather than AP2, means that these Deathwing Terminators over here with Thunderhammer Storm Shield suddenly are put on their invuln save and are a lot easier to take down, rather than saving on 3+. We then have those 3 Nemesis Dread Knights, Gatling Silencers, and heavy Psy Cannons, but no melee upgrades, just taking the 2 damage Dread Fists, saving some points there, and getting a consistent damage rather than the Nemesis Greatsword being D6 damage, which can obviously be a little awkward. We then have a Rhino that is carrying several of the Interceptors in order to give them a little bit of a bump in threat range. Moving over to Paper's list. He is running Dark Angels, as I said before. Ezekiel is in this list, taking all of the Interomancy discipline powers. So Mindworm, Righteous Repugnance. Using a special Ezekiel model. Look at this little guy right here. He's so small compared to all these Terminators. Mindworm, Righteous Repugnance, and Engulfing Fear. We have 2 Talon Masters, one of them with Arbiter's Gaze to ignore hit modifiers and able to Overwatch in a 2+. The other one with the Heavenfall Blade and Imperium Sword. So it actually puts this guy to a pretty reasonable attack profile. He starts at base 3 attacks, goes up to 4 thanks to Shock Assault, 5 thanks to the Heavenfall Blade, 6 thanks to the Imperium Sword on the charge, and all of those at Strength 7. AP3, 2 damage. So he's going to be able to put out enough firepower to potentially knock down a strike squad in melee. And then instead of consolidating, Dark Angels can pay 2 CP for any Ravenwing unit and move or fall back in place of advance or place of consolidating. So effectively, they can just overrun that guy back behind the Deathwing Terminators. So even if these strike squads are not coming forward and engaging with the army, there is still some opportunity for Paper to root them out of their spaces. And that also, importantly, doesn't require them to have killed the unit that they charge. If he just charges and kills a couple of the models, then he's still going to be eligible to leave combat. We have 2 Infiltrator squads in the list, as well as Samael, I should mention. Samael's another good target for that potential combo. He's a similar profile, strength 8, only 5 attacks instead of 6, but AP4, 2 damage. So just punches through the Grey Knight's armor save. Could also even use that to get to grips with the Nemesis Dread Knights as well, and then the Grand Master, without having to deal with his swing back or his teleport, which you would if you shot him. We have 2 Infiltrator squads that we see pushing up in the front here. A Blade Guard Ancient with the Pennant of Remembrance to reduce damage on the Deathwing Terminators by 1. As well as Decisive Tactician. 2 Deathwing Terminator squads, 10 models apiece, all Thunderhammer Storm Shields and Cyclone Missile Launchers. A Ravenwing Apothecary, this is with Rites of War. So not a Chief Apothecary, not with Selfless Healer. But he is going to be granting all the Deathwing Terminators objective secured and a 6+ damage ignore. 2 individual attack bikes, just to add some utility and benefit from the Ravenwing buffs. And 3 Landspeeder Vengeances.
Works fine for me.
Oh, looks like we lost Headstrong there. I'm sure he'll be back momentarily. Matt, looks like you DC'd. Are you still on?
Yeah, he DC'd.
Yep.
I'm still there.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure he's still on comms. Might have had a crash.
Yeah.
So how you feeling about these Grey Knights?
Yeah, should be alright. Let's see. His secondaries got real good, or are really good, so kind of curious.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The Purifying Ritual is a little bit tough.
Yeah.
But it depends on how much stuff he can kill with Teleport Assault. I guess you have all these land speeders. He could blow up maybe.
Right. And he only needs to do it 3 times, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also an interesting interaction that we discussed for Patrick Praxis game, where the secondary just checks at the end of the round whether or not you teleported. So you could kill something and then teleport away, and then still score it potentially.
Oh.
That was just weird.
Welcome back. All right, here we go, chat. Looks like they're fighting over a water park. Less slides, I think, than they would be in a water park.
All right.
Yeah, just recoloring my guys, because
How are we doing on this prediction, everybody? 30 seconds left. Get on in there. 75% for Dark Angels. Ooh, boy.
alrighty.
People are all high on these Dark Angels supply. I think that's fair. Dark Angels, very strong. Headstrong, an excellent Grey Knights player, though. I think if there is an avenue to get out, he'll find it. His Mortal Wound output, especially because we don't have any innate Mortal Wound defense in this list, could help significantly as well. If we get a good turn of smiting off from the Grey Knights, we could do a lot of damage to these Deathwing Terminators. They only have a 6-up ignore against Mortal Wounds from the Ravenwing Apothecary, so that's, and especially because we have that Psychic Epitome Librarian, that guy could knock out 3 or 4 Deathwing Terminators by himself if the dice go well.
4. Wait, alright, you go first. Good luck, have fun.
Do you have any redeploys or anything?
Nope.
Alrighty. Redeploys.
Yep. Coming you.
So foretelling of Locust now. I wonder if Headstrong just goes on the line with these interceptors and just pushes for a turn 1 charge on the infiltrators to try to kill them.
It's supposed to be touching, by the way.
I think that move makes a ton of sense, especially if he can get up, get a strong enough charge here, knock this unit out, which he most likely will. Although they do have a Helix Gauntlet and access to potential transhuman, so maybe not. But then uses his consolidation move to get in the front of the Terminator squads. He can limit some of their movement, although they will get to charge on him. But in fairness, if they charge him, we're going to be in Devastator Doctrine basically the entire game for the Dark Angels. So they won't score Codex Warfare if they elect to use him as a movement buff, but it could get them to the middle of the table immediately. Although Headstrong might not be that worried about that. Yeah, Captain Lazarus definitely a big pick for a lot of these. A lot of these Deathwing armies. He's a pretty decent melee combatant. He gets a reroll 1 Zora and then also that 5-up ignore against mortal wounds. Super useful. I think now that a lot of the factions that do the massive mortal wound output, like Tyranids and Thousand Suns, are less powerful, maybe that we see less of a push towards the mortal wound defense because they don't feel that they need it quite as much. But I do think that it is it's still pretty important. There are going to be fringe situations where you get nailed with mortals. I also think that even things like mirror matches, you could. Ooh, it looks like we may be able to get an angle, get a beat onto those infiltrators with the Grey Knight over here, with the Dread Knight. But there's there's all sorts of fringe stratagems like the Deadly Embrace, like Hammer of Wrath, that suddenly look very tempting against this unit that has these insane defensive benefits. If you're transhuman hitting into a 1+ armor, 4+ invuln save, and a 6+ ignore, just being able to bypass all that for a 1 CP for 3 or 4 damage is actually huge because you're not going to knock down one of those Terminators, which is so valuable. So even just like random ways to generate mortal wounds, I think people are going to start pulling out of the woodwork.
I think I would just give the Grandmaster Trigger heroes. I don't think this guy's gonna get to do much.
Nergomat's in chat. How's it going, Nergomat? A lot of consideration happening here. Gonna try to push these Nemesis Dread Knights forward. I wouldn't be too shocked to see a Dread Knight teleported up to the center here, get a beat on the Landspeeder Vengeance in the back, and try to knock that down. There's even a 1-2 punch we can do if one Dread Knight can kill the Landspeeder Vengeance. I don't believe that it's far enough back that the Infiltrators prevent a teleport to it. Then a second Dread Knight could kill the Talon Master, and the Talon Master going down this early in the game would be brutal for Dark Angels. Looks like that's all the redeploys we're going to do, so one Dread Knight getting buffed from the Tech Marine, the other one getting buffed from Kaldor Drago. Pushing an Interceptor squad up into the center. Those guys are just going to be picked up by the other Talon Master, I imagine. Insane firepower, especially against Marine bodies from these Talon Masters. They run a twin Heavy Bolter and twin Assault Cannon, and then are sitting at 2+ ballistic scale, the ability to ignore cover, and +1 AP from Devastator, and then the ability to move farther and shoot their weapons thanks to the Ravenwing Super Doctrine and Devastator. So I think what we may be doing here is pushing these interceptors up. They're going to be attempting to do a Ritual Purification in the center. And then I imagine Headstrong just intends to pull that first one, or to try to teleport them back. He's keeping them as far as he can out of charge range, I imagine, in case his teleport fails. So I don't know if he's going to be... Make sure this player's CP ticks up. I don't know if he's going to be keeping them there for too long. He would just lose the unit, I imagine. He might also just be banking on the fact that if he's going to play aggressively with the Dread Knights, they're going to be eating all the firepower from these Land Speeders and Raven and Talon Masters.
These guys just gonna move.
I have to watch out for these forests a little bit. The an interesting idiosyncrasy of the Interceptor squad is that, like a Canoptic race, while they move vertically through terrain, they don't actually ignore terrain modifiers when moving. So they are still impeded by difficult terrain.
It's gonna shuffle this way.
These infiltrators are going to pose a problem for the librarian. He does want to jump in close enough to whichever unit. Whenever he teleports, whichever unit is going to be juiciest for him.
But I think you still got it.
But the infiltrators make that tough. Looks like we may just be... line of sight looks clear, pretty clear, actually. Yeah,
Good
fine
guns
line of
just
sight.
poking out
Yep.
the edge here.
Because we use base now for line drawing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm asking.
No, it's any part of the model for line of sight. I think that was a question directed at me. Yeah, line of sight, as strange as it is,
No
Jim.
problem.
Measurements, in terms of the true measurement distance between units is always measured from base to base, but line of sight is very specifically from any part of the model. An unfortunate part of 40k, and I think one that I'm going to do a video on, I think, this coming week. I have one ready to go. But I think the problems with true line of sight seem to be a little bit confusing to a lot of people, and I think it's worth discussing exactly why it's so problematic, because it is a real issue. Like for exactly this reason, right? This model is physically about 2 inches farther away from where that line of sight is being drawn, but the line of sight still passes over it, so you're going to be able to fire at them. And it means that models that are modeled differently in IRL events suddenly function differently on the table. Which is not great. Crash tactics. It's nice to hear that all of your units can fly. I imagine that in order to employ their crash tactics, they do have to be flying at some point during their career. For, however long that lasts.
Your intent here? Kill the land speeder and then shoot this guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
If this guy dies.
Yeah, so it looks like we are going to be trying to extricate that Talon Master from being looked out for by the land speeder vengeance. And maybe go for a charge onto the infiltrators back here. Spicy. You fly up to the point you spin a CP to auto explode them. That's some real old Space Marine, Warhammer 40k Space Marine, the video game technology. I got so many kills from the perk that let your jump pack explode after you died. Somebody would come hit you with a chainsword and you would just kill them on the crackback. Brendolf, yeah, that's absolutely the case. Yeah. Making cool and extravagant and tall and, gaudy models should be encouraged in the game, but the game actively discourages it currently. I think a great example is like for Tyranids, the Swarm Lord. A lot of people there's a popular Swarm Lord conversion where you use the base of the flying Hive Tyrant to make it look like he's jumping in the air, and it makes him about 3 or 4 inches taller than he should be, and that makes attacking that guy much easier, much easier. Like he's almost twice as tall as the model should be, because the Swarm Lord model is actually very small. And the unfortunate part is that conversion looks sick, but it's so bad. It just makes your army worse, and that's not good game mechanics. So teleport shunting the Grandmaster, pushing a bunch of stuff into the center here. Gonna be going for these side cannon shots into these land speeders. And let's see how it goes. Who's excited for that new Space Marine game, by the way, chat? Oh my god. If it gets good multiplayer, I'm gonna never play anything else ever again, I think. OG Space Marine was my jam. Yeah, for sure. I would normally stop myself for this being inappropriate talk for a commentary game, but this is a Space Marine mirror match, so I think talking about Space Marines is only appropriate, Yeah, same chat. come follow me on Twitch. I'll certainly stream a ton of it. So I would love to be able to stream it without being unable to pay rent. Rogue Trader? Yeah, Rogue Trader looks exciting too, for sure. What a cool genre for 40k to dive into. I think it's it really like fits the universe really appropriately. So I wonder if Paper is kind of baiting this hit here. This is a very aggressive play position for this Talon Master to be, and Talon Masters are models that move 18 inches. They don't really need to like have deployed super aggressively in order to get what they wanted. It does give him a little bit more option for maybe attacking and running away, but this is not the Smash Talon Master. This is the shooty one. But I wonder if he just wants the Nemesis Dread Knights to come forward and come out of their line of sight blockers and open themselves up to getting hit by the Landspeeder Vengeances. He may lose the Ravenwing, the Talon Master, but in doing so, he actually gets to engage with the Dread Knights.
We will attempt Purifying Ritual in the middle with the Red Squad.
Worst experience with line of sight was against the Sisters Army. Position more involved to his spirit can see around a building. Yep.
Back point.
Yep, that's very common. That is exactly how Morven Vol typically works. It's real bad. Yeah, and that's talking about like the modeling your units and making them bigger and stuff is talking about the downsides defensively of true line of sight. But there's also situations like that offensively where they don't make any sense. Somebody pokes a wing or a gun or a sword to point over around a corner or through a window or something, and then suddenly you have line of sight. It's problematic. Yeah, modeling for advantage is a constant debate. It's Morven time. She does say that every time, chat. That's what she says when she commands somebody to get their full rerolls. Yeah, it is a constant debate in tournaments. So, most places, it feels like it's anytime there's like a change to the status quo of how the mechanics work around line of sight or measurement, the debate rages again. And so right now people have sort of settled into there being some house rules where generally you will superimpose like whatever the appropriate assemblage of the model is over any custom version that you've done. At least when having line of sight drawn to you, but you may be able to take the detriments of having line of sight drawn from you. But
I guess we'll go to
I mean, in 10th edition, if the rules aren't improved significantly, I mean, it's gonna rear its ugly head once again for sure. And the same for boarding action. I think boarding action changed the line of sight rules in a really, really good and positive way, and it confused a lot of people.
Various foreign rules.
Take 2.
Yep.
Sorry.
Those are 2 damage each, right?
Yeah, there were 2.
So that'd be 4 damage total. Yeah.
No, 1 went through. I spent to make it for a win thing.
Okay, I gotcha.
One more.
Grandmaster will shoot there. We'll spend 1 to re-roll, hit some wounds of 1.
So this is the big one here. If the Grandmaster knocks out this Landspeeder Vengeance with the 4+ invulnerable save, then he does get 5 points for Teleport Assault since he shunted the Grandmaster up to the middle here this turn.
3-0-1s.
Okay.
Probably 6 damage. Does he explode?
Flubs it. And it does blow. Oh my god, no way. Clips the Talon Master.
D3 damage.
For 3? Are you kidding me? Unlucky.
Grandmaster shunted.
Yep.
Oh my god.
We'll shoot this guy into the Talon Master.
Absolutely brutal,
Yep.
chat. 2 points on Pure Fang Ritual as well on the scoreboard here for Headstrong. It's getting those secondaries going.
Force, but re-rolling.
And then this last guy in the back. See if he can clip this guy out. Ooh, terrible roll
Just 2.
from the side cannon.
5 ups. Okay, 2 damage.
All right, it's all down to the silencer. Got to put 3 damage through. Unfortunately, those Gatling silencers only strength 5. So trying to fish for 5s to wound at low AP. 3 go through. All right, Paper. You just gotta blitz all these. Nah, he's okay. Oh, that was close, chat. Oh my god. Almost lost the Talon Master there. That would have been a disgusting alpha strike.
This guy, he's just gonna shoot these dudes here.
Killing a land speeder vengeance is already pretty great. Unfortunately for Headstrong, the dense cover makes it a little bit tough. Because there's a lot of dents in the center of the table for this map.
Cool.
Okay. That's Gauntlet and kills one.
The other way. So got the Gauntlet.
I
2.
think you're
4.
also shooting through dents here, but yeah, it's okay.
Sorry. I'll reroll if you want. I think. Wait,
Okay.
what did I just?
It's okay. Yeah, just one more. 1 damage. Okay.
So Infiltrators survive.
Um.
That is going to give Paper a push that he can
Alright, I
make
think
towards
we
the
just have to
center. He
charge.
can contest the center for free.
Yeah, I probably should have strengthened AP'd this guy to definitely try and kill this thing. Oh well. Alright, well, we will do the charge. I think I need a 5. So.
JimTech87, thanks for the follow, by the way. Oh, Infiltrator's not wall screened here, unfortunately. That's too bad. Makes the charge easy for interceptors. Although I think they had measured it being a 6. So he would have made it anyway, even if they were a little bit farther back. We do have a Helix Gauntlet. That unit's still active, so they're going to be able to blank the first hit that goes through.
Side.
Although Paper is out of CP to Transhuman, so going to be eating those 3+ wounds on the Infiltrators. Don't know if the Interceptors want to consolidate through that wall. It seems like they'd be bait to get picked up by rocket launchers and things.
So these guys are dead anyway. It's probably best just to. Alright, so that's the move, so I guess we will all in. Let's go here.
Okay, I'll strike. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do real 1 set wound.
Getting maximum use out of that Prescient Brethren stratagem. So many rerolls.
The threes, we were ones.
So many 2s rolled, though. Unfortunate. Oh my god. So many 2s. Insane.
That's
4
okay.
mortals, right?
4 models and then 6.
So Tide of Convergence doing a ton of damage here. We're saving on 5s. One gets spiked
Oh,
by
good
the
one.
Gauntlet, but that actually will kill the
Nice.
unit. Saves were that good for paper there.
Gauntlet kills
And,
4 and then 4 models.
Nice. Nice. Okay.
All right. Well, pretty
so
still a
don't
strong
really wanna move
alpha
at all.
from Headstrong. He is sort of fully committed here. All of the Nemesis Dread Knights are in the danger zone of being shot back at, but I think they're shooting, at least against the land speeders, is going to be a little bit stronger than that of the Dark Angels.
Okay, command phase stuff. Reroll hits on this Telemaster. -1 damage on.
You don't forget to pass the
Boys.
turn too, so you'll get your CP.
+1 to hit on these bad boys. And I think the rest is fine. So these guys will move.
So the real question here is, I think, how well the... Ooh, yeah, we're going to get a charge from these green guys into the Interceptors. A little scary. The big downside of these huge Terminator bricks is that they are extremely slow. 5-inch movement apiece, basically no movement buffs to speak of, especially in this list, since we don't even have access to a chaplain to make them a little bit faster. But with a unit in range to charge, they do basically like quintuple their speed. They're able to move another, 6 or 7-inch charge plus a pylon and a consolidate. They go immensely faster. So obviously, Headstrong getting rid of the utility units on the Dark Angel side of the table is huge. That's going to knock a banner down on this side and prevent the lock-in on Objective 4, which means that you're removing an entity that can hold an objective for you. You're probably cutting the total banner score for the Dark Angels at least 1 or 2 points, and you're making it so that they can't leave that objective and continue to hold it. But on the flip side, you are going to be sort of catapulting that Deathwing Terminator squad up the table. So you win some, you lose some. We're actually placing a banner in the center of the table here. I love this. The big benefit here is that it requires that Headstrong puts something in the middle. Because he has objective secured and is outnumbering the Interceptors. Jesus. The Infiltrators outnumber the Interceptors in the center. The Brotherhood Tech Marine could give them objective secured, but in this case it doesn't matter. Which means the objective is eligible to be bannered. Headstrong then has the opportunity to just basically shoot him off the objective and not hold it. But if he does so, then Paper will be continuing to take up that banner score. And if Headstrong puts things in the middle, then they are, again, in charge range of the red Terminator squad. So Paper can get additional charges on them.
Real quick, just because they lost that colors for me. It's like the only thing that I need to care about.
That's cool.
I think you
I
need
just
it.
color one squad.
Yeah, it's
Squish by the music chat. I do have I have a playlist of music that I use mostly, or almost entirely from the YouTube library. What I should do is put a song list together. But I just I keep forgetting to do that, honestly.
Okay, they would need to come here. Build. Oh, yes.
So it looks like Paper may be angling for the possibility of a charge on the red Deathwing squad into the Interceptors. Needs an 11, I think. Yeah. As the crow flies. Would be nice if he got that charge. I think would certainly be enormously beneficial to the positioning of the Dark Angels army. But it may also just want to advanced behind that line of sight blocker there, and
He needs to go straight line.
put himself in the best position to charge the next turn on whatever is on that objective. Although, the interesting thing about the Dark Angel's position right now is because only one unit's really in danger of being meleeed, the Landspeeder Vengeances and the Multi-Melts and things, they have to decide whether they actually want to try to remove that Interceptor Squad, which can basically just trade for the center again. It will just kill the Infiltrator Squad if Paper allows it to live. Which means, obviously, Headstrong no longer has to worry about that. But also, Nicholas wants to be able to put all of these, all of his shooting into the Dread Knights to try to remove that incoming firepower as quickly as possible. And if he's diverting any of it to hit those infiltrators, that's enormously beneficial to Headstrong.
So this guy can go in here, touch the terrain. And yeah, the line of sight to these guys.
Looks like we are angling to put shots into the intercessors or interceptors. I'm really glad that Grey Knights don't have intercessors themselves. That would be the bridge too far, I think, in terms of name confusion.
To this thing.
Or inceptors, that would be bad. If you had both inter and inceptors. Too difficult.
I think what I do instead is move over here. This guy.
And now we get to place these Talon Masters safely behind the protective barrier of 20 Deathwing Terminators. We have 60 wounds of some of the hardest models in the entire game to remove to protect those guys with Lookout Sir. And that's really where the kind of the unstoppable engine of Dark Angels is assembled, where they just have these units that are both defensively and, to a lesser extent, offensively, some of the most efficient models in the entire game. And they're protecting these incredibly strong shooting boats between Samael and the Talon Masters, none of which can be targeted because it's behind those Deathwing Terminators. Oh, this guy's really doing he's a little rigging around the rosy over here. Can't decide where he's going. I also wonder if that guy could maybe, or I guess we're only down to 1 CP for Paper, so he doesn't have the overrun stratagem active for the Talon Masters. He could go in and just try to kill that interceptor unit with melee and then leave, but not today.
He's gonna move here in that sweet spot. He can stay there. Samael. Probably come here. Also touch the ruin.
This Talon Master, or the, the Nemesis Dread Knight over in the side, in this top left corner, is certainly the most undefended from Headstrong. There's no dense cover intervening there. And if Paper commits into it, there's nothing that really can hurt him on the crackback. I'm a little bit worried about, I wonder if there is a position where Samael could get shot from a teleport shunt.
He should have line of sight. Here, yes. And Ezekiel will. Where does he want to go? Cover the middle. Buff the Terminators. Okay, he's okay right there. So this guy will raise a banner where he is. Then this guy will move up here. This speeder move somewhere here. Just for the line of sight on this guy.
Who's raising a banner, sorry?
The ancient. Which means he would lose the aura.
Yeah, the plus one to charge and the plus one
Yeah.
to hit.
I will do it with Ezekiel.
So that's an interesting idiosyncrasy of the action rules. If you are a character performing an action, any aura abilities you have deactivate until the action is completed. Now, that's not the case for non-character units, interestingly. So if you have a unit with a persistent effect, something like Venom Thropes that has an aura ability just baked into it, if those perform a banner's action, their ability actually does not drop. But it does for the characters, which means looks like we're just going to be eschewing any psychic powers this turn. Could maybe have gotten a couple mortal wounds into a Nemesis Dread Knight, but that's certainly not worth a banner. Because the Deathwing Terminators only moved, I guess we could have declared it with them, but they're going to declare a charge, so no good there. Yeah, Ezekiel is definitely the correct play here. Using this attack bike to screen out this back line so we don't see any drops into the back to shoot at the Vengeances easily. Plus, he's going to be able to fire a couple multi-melta shots into a Nemesis Dread Knight somewhere.
It's going there in that corner. And then this is screen up.
Now, while we're repositioning our units, I do want to give a shout out to our event sponsors for the T5S2 Invitational Season 6, GameMat.eu. Who's been a longtime sponsor of the channel. Absolutely incredible company. Make a lot of super sick neoprene tabletopper mats, of which I have many, actually, and they're all gorgeous. They even make double-sided mats, so you can get two designs in a single mat. 3D6 Wargaming, speaking of neoprene mats, 3D6 Wargaming makes all these neoprene accessories, including objective markers, so you can get TacticalTortoise versions of it by putting ! objective into the chat. And then VoxLink, which is a new app that goes live on Kickstarter next Tuesday, the 21st. It's going to be a community building app for tabletop games. Allows you to post up LFGs and find players in your local area, which is going to be super useful, I think, especially for all these new players who are jumping into the hobby. To find opponents and find gaming groups, and especially find new gaming groups in your area that you may not have interfaced with before. I especially like it, I think, if I'm going to go to a new... if I'm going to go traveling or something for a week. Being able to pick up games of 40k while traveling is like one of my favorite things, because you get to play with new people and new metagames. But it's always a little hard, you know, you're trolling through Facebook groups and trying to find Discord servers or whatever, but if you have one centralized place to do it, VoxLink is going to be there for you.
Okay, let's do some shooting. No psychic because he did raise the banner. Cool. Let's do some shooting. We start shooting with this Talonmaster, everything into this guy. Assault Cannon, it's the Arbiter's Case guy, and then 3 AP2, so thanks 2 Heavy Bolters, and then 3 AP2. 2 4-ups. Okay, take 2.
Solid chunk of damage. Almost a third of a Dread Knight gotten taken out by the Talon Master there.
Yeah. Then we do these 2 Terminators. They could either shoot here or here. Let's start with the things that only have this thing as a target. So
I guess the other upside of not
overcharge this
advancing a
guy.
Red Terminator squad, you get to try the charge on the Interceptors, which would be great if he makes it, but you also get the Cyclone Missile Launcher shots from them. Which is probably, I guess, paper I imagine is valued more highly than the charge.
Take some Mortal. Down to 8. And then on freeze. That's 4.
Oof. Huge hit on that Dread Knight. What did the save say? Oh, it just dies.
9 damage.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough. Headstrong down to low CP. Probably wants to save that CP reroll. Oh my god, these Landspeeder Vengeances, man.
Cool.
2d3, the 3 damage supercharge shot from those
Give me
big
2 on
plasma storm
Warfare,
batteries.
and yeah, 1 and off. Then let's do this guy. Everything into the interceptors here. Let's start with the heavy bolter. Hit and wounds 4 times, AP2. Kills 3 guys. And then the assault cannon. This will be on freeze with rerolls. And then on freeze. This many AP2. To dead. Alright, 2 more codex. He shot.
So don't even need to go for the charge of the Interceptors. Ended up knocking them down with the Talon Master. Codex Warfare ticking up incredibly quickly now.
1 hits. Doesn't wound. And then 8 shots from his spike bolter. Hits. Yeah. And then on 5s. 3 AB0. They're fine. And then these Terminators.
So wanting to keep shots off of the Nemesis Grandmaster for as long as possible, since you don't want to trigger an early Sigil of Exigence, especially this late in the shooting phase, since that allows Headstrong to basically reposition that guy for free without having to worry about his any further shooting attacking him.
Freeze. Telemaster. Yeah, wounds. No, that would be D6.
I actually wonder if there's a shunt spot into the back line over here, where it can hit the Landspeeder Vengeances. I'm not
And
entirely
then
sure.
the other will shoot.
So a Sigil of Exodus back there could be disastrous.
So, on course, this time I get to reroll once. Yep. And then freeze. Just 1. Nope. D6. 3. Okay. That's it for my shooting phase, I think. Let's do some charges. +1 to charge, so 5-inch charge on the dice. That's enough with a 10. Might just go through the forest and get an 8. Let's do that.
Big charge roll from the Dark Angels Terminators here. Gonna be able to screen out this back corner now with their own bodies. A little interesting that the I guess the Terminators, not only being like the most valuable units in the army, are also the screeners, but they are numerous and difficult to kill, and I think you would rather your opponent be shooting them than shooting the Landspeeder Vengeances or the characters. One interesting position here is that the Deathwing...
I don't think I want to...
The red Deathwing squad is a little bit stretched right now. And it may be that if Headstrong focuses all his firepower onto that unit, he'd be able to give them some coherency problems, at least as they're trying to look outsurf for the characters.
And last one to hit, last one. This guy can go here. Like this. Mm-hmm. And we have a 10-inch charge here. Oh, they're dead, so we don't. So...
Yeah, it's tough to make a charge on a unit that no longer exists, for sure.
Let's do... start striking here. I pile, and I'm thinking about...
These coherency screens, or these coherency strings are extremely important for these Terminator units. Putting as many as we can in light cover is going to put them to a 0+ save. And I think the big downside for Grey Knights in this matchup is that the biggest damage dealers that they have, being these Nemesis Dread Knights, are basically cap out at AP 2, maybe 3 if you can, if you use the stratagem on them.
Will be 6 Terminators striking.
Which means that they're always going to be, they're basically never going to be able to bump up against the invulnerable save that Deathwing Terminators have, which is really what you want. You want to be like hitting AP 3 or maybe AP 4 to put them on their invuln. And the Grenades just don't have that in high volume, so they're going to be trying to overload the Terminator saves with just mass wounds. But that is a little bit of a dangerous ask.
So 6 plus Sergeants on 19. And then on freeze.
Ooh, terrible wound roll, though. Might not even kill this unit. That was awful. Oh, we do have the Talon Master. They are lieutenants. I got a couple of rerolls in there.
Only 8. Okay.
AP2?
AP2, correct.
Yeah, we'll clip the unit. Just barely gets
Really
him.
try and keep one alive, but I don't think it's worth.
Right.
Yeah, keeping one alive would be good, just for the psychic powers. Those individual Grey Knight Strike Marines psych as well as a full unit of guys. So individual Grey Knight Psychers are very dangerous, or at least can be very dangerous as the game goes on, but whether that's worth the command point, I'm not entirely sure.
So that's 1, 2, let's check community. Fine. Okay. That's my turn. So I will do 4 on Wolf in total, and I raised 1 banner, did 4 on Warfare. So over to you.
Yep. 2 banners, great. MPs, wasn't it?
Trouble with secondaries for Space Wolves? I know that some Space Wolves players are building for Codex Warfare these days. Trying to get points with heavy weapons and units that are in Assault Doctrine, thanks to Instincts Awoken. Or just our Wolfen. But usually you can pick up an action secondary like banners or retrieve battlefield data pretty free of charge, depending on the mission. And then oftentimes you can get one off your opponent. So if you have one locked in your list building, usually you're actually probably fine. There are going to be some situations where secondaries are tough to pick, but not all of them. So we're going to use interceptors to trade for the middle. And like we said before, Headstrong does have to actually drop that banner down to prevent that banner score from getting too high from Paper. Headstrong does have a little bit of a benefit of banners here. He's up to 2, and Paper's only going to get 1 this coming turn, and then has to kind of jump through some hoops to get a banner on objective 4. If the Deathwing Terminators have to turn around and not contribute to the fight this turn, that's going to be huge for Headstrong if they decide to put a banner up. But otherwise, there's nothing really in range to put banners up besides that unit, so... knocking all these utility units out for Headstrong is absolutely the right call. Unfortunate that he had to trade a bunch of interceptors for it, but that's mostly just how Grey Knights work. If you're a Grey Knight interceptor, your life expectancy is like basically measured in minutes. They train for hundreds of years to become masters of their craft, both in the esoteric and martial disciplines. Use the arcane weaponry of the Grey Knights, and then are used to kill an enemy like 80-point chaff unit and be murdered.
I'm not really screwed now, like you do.
I guess no. 9, 10, holy, 9, 12.
Yeah, so it looks like we do have a little bit of a space back here that we can drop something as the players are measuring out. I almost wonder if we drop the Epitome Librarian. You do lose him, which is unfortunate, but there's a non-zero chance he knocks down a Vengeance, especially considering one wounded itself. Oh, looks like we're dropping an Nemesis Dread Knight. Let's go. Yeah, certainly unscreened. Maybe a bit of a misposition there from Paper. Didn't place his attack bike in the back corner, or at least he moved it out of the back corner where it was screening. But again, that is a Nemesis Dread Knight that's dead. Oh my god, maybe 2 Nemesis Dread Knights that are dead? Oh my god. Oh boy! Well, that's a lot of Deca right there. And I actually really love this play from Headstrong. He's focusing down on, as we just saw, the Landspeeder Vengeances are the most dangerous unit to his army. And in the shooting phase, the Talon Masters are good, and the rocket launchers from the Cyclones are fine. But it's those Landspeeder Vengeances and their mass 3 damage shooting that he's really worried about. If he can drop into the back line here, he can teleport shunt 1 unit. He can Gateway Infinity the other one. He can potentially knock out both Landspeeder Vengeances. And in doing so, remove a lot of that range threat to his Dread Knights, which means that Niklas has to commit in melee to kill them. And in doing so, he has to rely on these really, really slow Deathwing Terminators that have to be in the midboard of the table. The Deathwing game plan is to put these Terminators on the center objective and hold there for the entire game until your opponent doesn't get any points. Like, he's going to slowly tick up banners, he's going to slowly tick up oaths, he's going to slowly tick up Codex Warfare, and he's going to max his primary. And if you force these Deathwing Terminators to turn around to deal with your Nemesis Dread Knights, then they can't be doing that, and your opponent's basically locked to a 5-point or an 8-point primary every turn. And that's when Grey Knights can take the win with their own secondaries. So this agile sort of refused flank kind of gameplay is exactly what Headstrong needs to be doing, and that's what he's planning for right now.
All right, let's spend the 2 to shun.
Yep, here we go.
So we will shun this guy with the juice. Forward and then just rotates a little bit. See this guy.
Oh, nice solid line over here.
Is that good?
I guess so.
Angling for this line of
Charge
sight.
distance.
Looks okay.
Gosh, a lot of this unit is over here, so he rolls. I'll charge. Not many will get in.
Now, that's the other downside of these big strung units, especially if their speed is not super high. Their melee profile actually suffers a little bit just because of the fact that not the entire unit can attack.
My friend wants to go where? Bait him, hopefully, but he needs to be able to shoot something if not. Guys, I guess. Right on Librarian. Purple. So I don't think it's going to do anything.
Squats 40k, thanks for the follow.
Okay, I think that's going to be it for move. We will go into Psychic. We'll attempt to gain a CP for my Tech Marine. I gain a CP.
Super useful to fuel those rerolls there. We're going to be having to fire through dense cover for the Dread Knights.
Ritual in the middle of this unit.
Ooh, Peril's the Interceptor squad. That's unfortunate. I'm not going to kill a model, though, and they do have a 5+ shrug. Oh, they'll take no damage. Easy game! Take that, Ezekiel. Eat your heart out. Can't even deny me.
From the teal guys. Doesn't go off. And then we'll go for orange. Doesn't go off at all. This is 6, so it's killing me. Alright, so that's just 1 point there for ritual.
Yeah, unfortunate. That new nerf to Purifying Ritual is unfortunate. Unfortunately, in the Arcs of Omen version, this secondary used to be an absolute nightmare when the Codex was released. But the Arcs of Omen version only allows you to attempt the action on each objective with a single unit and increase the warp charge. So not only is it less consistent than it was, but it's also non-repeatable. So if you fail it once, you're done.
Okay.
Which is very sad. Promzy Momoy, thanks for the follow as well. Appreciate everybody hopping on. Hope everyone's having a good Friday so far. Weekend's coming up. Anybody got some 40k?
Yeah, I think we'll spend one on Drigo.
Drew Lido playing a 5-round GT this weekend. That's awesome, man. Hope you have a good time.
Gate. Doesn't go off. We will. Sanctuary. That does go off. I'm involved on these guys.
Heat Vulcan indeed.
Not do much now. We'll smite. I really don't want to kill one of these guys. You pay to res, it just makes everything smaller. I guess we'll just smite for my garments then. Two. I think that's gonna be it for Psychic. Shooting. I guess we just put everything into this 5 wound. Speed it.
I do 4 Binwall, 1 CP. -1 to hit, +1 to hit, on freeze, rerolling.
So flubbed our gate. Only a single Nemesis Dread in the back here, but we did get a couple mortal wounds out of this guy.
4 up. Fine, 4 up. Takes 2. Fives. Okay. Takes 2. Okay.
Another one. Ripperoo.
Unfortunate.
This guy will shoot
And those
this guy.
vengeances do not bracket, so they just live forever. Continuously operating at top profile, and no points for teleport assault. And I think that is the weakness of teleport assault. Just like ritual, purifying ritual, it is also very inconsistent. Sometimes you can get the max 15 very easily, just easily teleport, shunt, and kill people. Sometimes you leave things on 1 wound and then don't get any points.
Station where?
Turn Headstrong's mic a little bit up. He's a little quiet today.
We will. I trust 5 Interceptors with how this rolling has been going.
Yeah, so I think the danger point here, as Headstrong has been pointing out, is that if he puts shots into the Terminator squads without killing enough of them, he can just give them an opportunity to respawn models with the Ravenwing Apothecary and actually dramatically change their position on the table, since you can put a model that's closer to another unit you can charge and give them effectively a 3 or 4 inch charge buff.
I'm just...
Big cannon, AP2, cover, 2 ups.
Yeah, take a damage. Alright, we're gonna make this charge.
So a real turn off for Headstrong here. 1 damage to 1 vengeance, leaves the other one on 1. And kind of commits really heavily here. Puts the interceptors, hopefully will knock out the infiltrators. But again, that's a charge target that Paper now has onto the center objective, and Paper's got a pretty, I'm not going to say easy, but not uneasy kill on either one of these Red Knights that he wants to. I think he can even like take the turn off kind of with the Vengeances and run them to behind this line of sight blocker. Just push this attack bike up to prevent any teleporting into that back line and try to knock this guy out while being out of line of sight from the other 2 Dread Knights. So he can even sort of retreat to the Vengeances now and not have to worry about getting knocked out the next turn.
Full models and then 8
How big of a difference is starting on 0 CP versus 2 CP? I would say it's
Not
pretty
bad,
big.
but did I?
It depends on how core the relic is to your game plan. If it's like a fun weapon or something, you can oftentimes leave it at home.
Yeah.
But if it's you know, an important buff or something, and it might just be worth taking. But yeah, especially with a chapter like Space Wolves that is melee oriented, having CP to interrupt early in the game feels much better when you have it versus when you don't.
One banner. Okay, we need to kill
And
this
we're back
guy.
over to Paper's turn. Yeah, that was a bit of a nothing turn from Grey Knights, and that's gonna be tough for Headstrong to come back from. Now, fortunately for him, he does have the ever-present benefit of having basically nothing but 2+ saves. Or 4+ vulnerable saves, excuse me. So, he's pulled back far enough that these Deathwing Terminators for Paper can now just probably raise a banner and be fine with it. Paper does have to commit pretty heavily into this Nemesis Dread Knight, but if Headstrong just rolls a bevy of 4+ saves, the like lethal damage from these Deathwing Terminators are not in range currently. Might go for a charge in this Dread Knight, but that looks like a tough one.
I've got all of my thermals in there. Or a Telemaster. Let's do that instead. We'll come here. Line of sight to these guys. The interceptors. I'm charging back here. How much to take care of that guy in the back?
Armor of Rust may be worth 2 CP, chat. I think it probably is.
Examail and
Armor of Rust is one of the stronger relics in the game.
2 bikes, normal moving. How to take care of him. So one comes here. And then
Looks like we're going for a charge with Samuel. We do have 2 CP for paper, so he can, if he wants to, just leave combat with that guy before he gets to swing back. So he gets kind of a free roll into the Dread Knight. Just gets the opportunity to do a bunch of damage with that melee swing.
back on this guy, so he advances. He doesn't need to advance. Telemaster here. Move those Terminators up as well.
Dr. Dudes with an RTT tomorrow? That's exciting.
Oops.
You playing some Beasts of Nurgle over there? Oh, looks like we've lost paper. All sorts of connection issues today.
Oh?
Yeah, it looks like you.
I think he dropped.
Yeah. Oh. Looks like he dropped in real life. Uh-oh.
Yep.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, I just disconnected.
Yeah, we have it paused. You just come back in whenever.
Oh, cool.
It's one of those days, chat. Steam being.
Day of the DCs.
Yeah, no kidding. It's not even Tuesday. Crazy.
Going to choose a color. Loading complete. Alright. So I'm good to go again. Time on me.
Crisis averted. It is interesting. I wonder why that's happening. The players' pings are not that high. Seems like everyone's internet's doing pretty well. Maybe it's just one of those days, chance.
Like that. And then
So slowly but surely, repositioning
these
our
Terminators.
Terminator bricks. These big ponderous units, their movement has to be so precise. Like, in order to get the maximum value out of their slow movement value, you have to move every model in the unit exactly to where it needs to be. So this is certainly a thinking man's army, I think, especially with how difficult Headstrong's made it for Paper to position as effectively as he wants to. What soundproofing do I have? I just have soundproof panels on the wall behind where my setup is.
I need to screen off my attack bikes. Let's move the Terminators. He can probably come in here. Can he? No, he can't. Hold on, I will just do something like that. And then Ezekiel might as well. And then
Oh, chat, are the sound alerts dead?
he might just come here
What's up with that?
next to the
I have to fix that,
really
chat.
damaged speeder.
One moment.
Line of sight here. Touching the piece of terrain. The ancient guy was up here, I guess. Oops. One terminator missing. He just was here. He was here. Okay. Do we give you a back cap right here?
All right. Give it a go now, chat. Hopefully it will work.
So this attack bike probably will come somewhere here and advance. He was in the corner. What I'm trying to do is 4, 5, 9 plus. Yeah, it's easily doable. Within 24 here. Let's do that. Touching the forest. Advance, yeah, you can teleport there. Okay. Psychic phase. No, this guy hasn't moved yet. Let's bring him right here. Yeah. Cool. Let's start shooting. Yeah, what I wanted to do with the Terminators here, sorry, is they wanted to come over here to be also able to shoot this guy. That was definitely doable. Sorry. Boop. And then 3. Yeah, that's cool. So then we will start with those into the Dread Knight. No, let's do some Psychic first. Not have overlapping bases. Psychic. Fight last on. Doesn't matter. Take away obsec on. Does not matter. So we'll just buff the red Terminators +1 to hit, also wound and hit rerolls. Let's go. It's a 6 on dice. Get it on a 10 with the +1. You can try to deny that. Nice, denied. Nice. And then... It's fine. Nothing else. Oh yeah. Cannot action is kinda cute. So I will try to cannot action on your Grandmaster with your leadership. No. But goes off, so you're not obsec on that guy. Cool. On a 9, you can try to deny.
I'm gonna do it for the flex. Nope.
Nope. So that's my psychic phase. Forgot to raise a banner here. That's fine. Yeah. Let's do some shooting. This attack pack that has advanced everything into the Dread Knight, the Melta. Yeah, I have lagged again. Chisel. That's annoying. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Not really the way I like to play my 40k games. Not really a flow that comes up then, but it's okay. Yeah, let's go. Choosing color.
Alright, chat. It should be fixed.
Cool. Alright. So this guy wanted to start shooting into this Dread Knight. That is 2 shots, multi-melta on force. Nice, they hit. And on freeze. Both wounds. So that
Are you
would
getting
be
some damage
D6
through the Dread Knight back here? Yeah, just one
just
though.
a big one.
Get wrecked. Guess the question here is
And
whether
then the
he
Volters.
wants to re-roll those. I guess not. Not today.
Nothing. We do this guy next. The Meltas. Captain nearby. Nope. And non-freeze. Yes. 4 up. Easy. Summon everything in this guy. D3 plasma. Oh, sorry. The 4 shots comic bolter. I will do after someone else plasma. So 2 shots plasma on 2s, hits, and on freeze. 2 wounds, AP4. I'll take 4 damage. And then I can do all the bolters together because they have the same profile. So 12 shots. I cannot because one has rerolls. So let's do this guy first. Hits. And then Zamael hits on 2s. Nice, and then on 5s. Just one. AP0, 2 up, I guess. Oh, nice. Down to 4, this Telemaster. Now let's shoot the Land Speeder Vengeance, everything in here. I'm not overcharging. 2d3 for 2 on 4s, yeah. And on freeze. Just one. AP3, I guess. That's 2 damage. And then the Heavy Bolter. 2 hits and no wounds. Okay. Let's do these 2 Terminators back here. 4 shots. On force. Nice. And on freeze. Okay.
I could do with that.
No, a lot of damage.
Oof.
And then
So that Dread Knight goes down to the Cyclone Missile Launcher shot. Huge damage on the Cyclones there. And that opens us up to
Shoot this guy
get
in
shots
here.
into the other Dread Knight.
He will overcharge his plasma. 3 shots. That's 2 hits. And on freeze. Just 1 wound. Save. And
You
then
took a model, right?
Did I? Oh, sorry, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, you rolled 1-1.
Down to 7. And then 1 from the bolter.
That's good.
Oh, it's fine. Okay. Then this guy, everything in here. Storm cannon, 2s, and 4s. So that many. The 4-ups. Take 3. And then the heavy bolter. 2. 1 to 5. Okay. I think that's it. This guy will try to shoot everything. Do I want to kill the Dread Knight? Or rather go for the Interceptors? The Dread Knight is bracketed. You can shunt him. It's okay. I think I go for the Interceptors here. Everything into them. Heavy Bolter on freeze. Rerolls. And then on freeze. That's 4 AP2. Kill 3. And then the Storm Cannon on freeze. And freeze. Okay, 7 more.
Does
Pile
that
up.
guy knock cover, or is he just...
No, he does not.
There you go.
But I think the forest is not.
Yeah, I just got one guy touching here.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
AP2.
It's AP2, yeah.
So, pause.
Takes 1. Dies. And then the last guy dies as well. Right? Yeah. 2 warfare. And then we do some charges. These Terminators in here. Distance. 7. Oops. I think I just want 1 guy in here. And then these guys can go in this direction. Why not? Okay, like this. Yep. Okay, and then and just the far minimal size. These guys will go in here. Oh, let's do the Telemaster first. We will go into them. 6 is enough. Here. And then these Terminators with +1. 9. Mm-hmm. These guys have a 4-up invul. Can Ezekiel fit in here? Yes, so Ezekiel will try to charge as well. Yes. So he comes here. Okay. Okay. We will start with the Terminators here. This is not a fit. This is fine. This is fine. This is dead. This is okay. Yeah. Okay. He doesn't fit here. Nope. So 8 guys. Hitting on freeze. The sergeant is in there, so 25 attacks. And on 3 twos, actually. Why did I wound on freeze last time? Nobody knows. Okay, that's 16, 5 on 4-ups.
Pretty good, but I don't know.
Goodbye, intercessor or interceptors.
Then I will just rip this guy.
And then yeah, we have this additional movement towards the Grandmaster, I guess, to keep the Talon Master alive. And this is where the Dark Angels really want to be with their game plan. They want to be set up in the center of the table with unstoppable forces.
Like this. And then I could activate these bad boys here. I'll go into the middle. And I think I'm fine like that. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. That is my turn. I will get another 3-0. And yep, that's it. Your turn. You'll get an 8. Time on you.
Oh no, I'll see this guy. I couldn't make it.
You can move him and I can check for you. There's a 7. And I would say... I don't know. I would say no, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't see this guy.
I think I was quite generous with the other lines, but this is a no for me.
Doesn't look like we're quite able to get line of sight there. I don't believe this Grandmaster hasn't teleport shunted yet, so it may be able to drop in somewhere over here and get a line if it really wants to. Looks like we may try to shunt it to the other side of the table. At least to pick up those points on Teleport Assault. Headstrong does have to sort of keep it parity with his opponent. He is now, unfortunately, screened out of the Dark Angels deployment zones thanks to Samael back here. These Grey Knights refuse to run out of 5-man Space Marine squads to throw at their opponent,
so
though.
I could shunt this guy. And go
Interceptor squad in the Rhino, plus the 2 strike squads in the back.
Here, which I
But against the
definitely see this guy.
like unstoppable press of the Dark Angels Terminators, it's gonna be tough.
So probably have to
If
shoot
the
him.
Dread Knight does knock out the Talon Master, we could see a kill from the Grandmaster.
No one holding here.
Yeah, and that objective is unlocked, so it does prevent Headstrong from having to push towards the middle.
At least delay 12 for another turn.
Could make you -1 to hit, so hit on 5s. I advance, so I have a 4 up in roll.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, it's in your
I have to get one through.
interest to kill something with, teleporting units.
Shoot here, so I can. I think I actually have to just come touch this if I want to see this guy.
Is the second time the charm on this Talon Master over here. Is this guy finally going to go down to the second Dread Knight, the double Dread Knight sort of beta strike? Tune in this Sunday to find out. Should tune in right now. Still tune in Sunday, though. We have 2 more games this weekend from the Invitational. They're going to be Saturday night, so tomorrow evening into Sunday morning are going to be the last 2. It's going to be kind of a back-to-back doubleheader. But I'm pumped for it.
I'm gonna spend 2. Let's show this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, could even angle for a charge around this corner too. Off this Nemesis Dread Knight. It's not highly likely he takes out the Vengeance. In fact, it's almost impossible, but it's certainly worth a try. Well, I guess not impossible. He has to convert all of his attacks into no saves, but he is hitting on 3s, winning on 2s. Could happen.
I have my base.
It's cool, you can do it.
Yeah. Okay. I just want this guy closer, and then be within 9. I think I had it before, but
Yeah, you can.
Oh, going for the smite. Smart. So we have another opportunity to knock out that land speeder, and then can take the shots into the other remaining land speeder.
I have 4 denies for this turn.
Yeah, what, sorry?
Quite a few denies because the Terminators also have Watchers.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. It is what it is. Gotta roll some dice.
Rhino has a single interceptor squad in it, chat. It's not full, but there are units inside.
Yeah, I've got to give my buffs.
Or 1 unit, I guess.
On the Grandmaster, so he's pretty much anyone who can have taken them. I'll be.
So there's a potential here that we kill all 3 of these vehicles this turn, which would be huge for Headstrong. Certainly make this table look a little bit more balanced. Downside is that there's so much damage just in Samuel and the attack bikes. It still has a kill, probably easily on the Nemesis Dread Knight back here. And the Grandmaster then has to kind of just cross his fingers and hope. I don't think that paper is going to give him the satisfaction of a Sigil of Exigence activation, but he will Servant of the Throne, hopefully to survive the Deathwing charge.
I guess we just go for the smite first.
Ooh, a 10 on the Nemesis Dread Knight. That's big. Needed that one to be as high as possible. How much do we want this Vengeance to explode?
I will spend 1 CP for Powerful Female Pain.
Oh my god, we're gonna Armor of Contempt.
Yeah.
The Land Speeder.
5 out.
Doesn't roll it.
Nope.
Get
Nice.
wrecked.
Does he explode?
Please roll 6. No. Very close. That would have been hilarious.
That was my 5 out.
There it goes. Well, that makes things much easier. Now this Talon Master's open. So we may just dump the Dread Knight, the Nemesis, the Wounded Dread Knight in there. I guess it probably makes more sense to just make sure we get the kill with the Grandmaster.
Nope. Oh god. On my home objective. Okay, it goes off.
1 second.
Yeah, the Purifying
I
Ritual.
think you're in deny range.
Yep.
Sucking really hard right now.
7 is one victory point.
Yep.
So it's okay, I guess.
Grandmaster has not used any of his defensive abilities, chat.
We'll go with Drago.
He's just been wandering around the table.
Go roll a gate. No. Sanctuary.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
sorry, Drago.
psychics.
All the psychic powers flubbing for
Sorry, Drago.
Grey Knight's turn.
My
That's the
Grandmaster.
real downside of Grey Knights right now. Is
You might as well just-
they're so reliant on psychic powers, but have very few effects to buff their casts.
Goes off on a 10. Does it do something crazy on a 10?
No, just 2d3, and then I'll just splash 1 to everything in 1. 1 damage to everything in 3, sorry.
Alright.
I think it's just the Talon Master and the terminate you.
This is probably the last thing you can do, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So I will try to deny with Ezekiel. No.
5 model wounds.
So I have a feel no pain, I guess. No, I'm out, so... This guy who is touching the terrain will die. Does he shoot? On a 4+? Doesn't. Cool.
And 1 model wound going to the Termes. And there's 1 guy here missing.
So yeah. Taking on that dude. Cool.
Okay. So I already got Teleport Assault, so I'll just go that 5. Because
Okay.
I killed you with the smite from this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we'll go Grandmaster to shoot the Talon Master.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Grandmaster, what do you got, buddy? All the buffs.
That's alright, he's dead.
I think, yeah, we're just gonna See the writing on the wall here. Well, if you roll a bunch of ones, there you go.
Why does he? Oh yeah, Drago. Cool.
Oh my god. Nah, still kills him. Goodbye, Ravenwing, Talonmaster. So that clears off this objective. The banner will still tick for paper, but because it's never been locked by troops, it's not locked in for the Dark Angels, so that will put Dark Angels down to an 8. And we're going everything into this Talonmaster, or this Vengeance, excuse me. Look at these rolls from Headstrong. Oh my god. 4 damage clipping into that guy already. Can we kill him with the Silencer? That would be insane. No. Unlikely. Very, very bad hit roll there. But he is still a charge target. We could potentially see a charge from the Dread Knight. That would be pretty sweet. Also knock down this banner, potentially. Vengeance down to 2. Ooh. Is this the charge? Failed it by 1.
Ooh.
That's unfortunate.
Used to be. No, no +1. Over to you.
Yeah. No rerolls available in the chamber there either. Well, we've successfully kept the Dark Angels from maxing their primary so far.
Target 8. Yeah. Come on, face buffs.
Going to a dead tie right now between the two players' scores, but there's so many Terminators left, chat. Oh my god.
+1 damage.
I do wonder, so the remaining Talonmaster is the Smash guy. I do wonder if he's just maybe going to go for these Grey Knights.
This guy wants to...
Yeah, to try to knock that banner down and remove the threat from that. We can charge into the Nemesis Dread Knight. He's got a bunch of attacks. And we do have the CP to reroll 1s and 1s, but I don't think he kills more than maybe 1 or 2 Terminators. So the engage in there, even if he makes all his invuln saves, is probably still pretty strong.
Oh my... Yeah, I'll total boost. +18 +6 is 24. This attack flag will come here. That's the hit rolls. Together with the speeder. Left line of sight here, yes. Cool. This guys. Flying charge. I don't want to do a banner. Yeah, they will do a banner here. And move.
Benefit of having very little to shoot at right now is that paper doesn't feel too bad about now seeding those shots for banners. This game state would have been much different, I think, if that last turn hadn't gone so poorly for Headstrong. This turn, everything went well for him. He did what he needed to, but there would have been less Landspeeder Vengeances over here, and potentially, you know, consequently more Dread Knight in the back if he hadn't flubbed so hard on both his Psychic Phase and shooting. Because he failed his Gate of Infinity to get 2 Dread Knights in the back here to try to knock out both Landspeeder Vengeances. Now, they are very difficult to kill. They have the invuln, they have the hit penalties, there's dense cover in the way. But the high attack volume in the Dread Knight is high enough that, you know, you can spike your way out of those bad situations. Thoughts on Brutalis Dreadnoughts affecting Space Marine lists? I think there's going to be a lot of situations where they replace 1 or 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts for sure.
I see you there, probably.
They have less long range shooting, but double multi-melt and a stubber is you know, at least similar to the like onslaught Gatling cannon and plasma cannon that the that the Redemptor brings you, and their melee is much better.
Move forward.
And multi-meltas in some situations are dramatically better than the plasma gun.
And a banner. I think that's that. Let's do some psychic. Ezekiel buffs the Terminators here. Bomb somewhere. No. Goes off on an 8. You can deny.
Yeah. I'm not ready to hood or anything, so.
Nope. Goes off. And then I will make you like this guy here fight last. Goes off on an 8. Denied. No more psychic. Shooting. Actually, do I want to revive a Terminator? I think I might want to do that. Revive a Terminator and heal the Terminator here. So heal for D3. Oh shit, that's in movement. Do you mind if I still do that?
Yeah, go for it.
Heal for D3 on the Termi. Just one, and then revive a guy for a CP. And then these two shoot down here on 4+. And then on 3+. 1 wound, and this Red Knight. Saved. Okay. And then here I cannot see shit. Then summon everything into the Dread Knight. Plasma for 2. On freeze. And on. Nope. And then the Storm Bolter. And 5s. 2 ups. Nice. Then this bike, everything in here. On freeze, the melta, and on freeze. Nothing. Yeah. Then this bike, everything in here. He has Chapter Master, freeze, and on freeze. 1. Okay.
Nemesis Dread Knight.
Oh yeah.
Unpunished
Both
for its
bolters in here.
aggression.
Uh,
Gets to push forward and just tank everything on the invuln save. It's kind of the dice that Headstrong need a little bit here.
And then on 5s. Just 1. Maybe. And then this guy will overcharge and put everything in here. Number of shots.
I don't know if we need the overcharge.
4.
Mm.
Takes a wound. Perfect start. Down to 1.
Scary. We need a CP here if we get any more ones.
7 hit.
So only 2 hits.
And then on freeze. 2.
Alright. What do you got, Headstrong?
Would I CP one of these?
You could still faster.
So he's
Click
alive
3.
on 2 right now. That would kill.
Take 6.
What else do you have to shoot this guy? Just the Time Master?
Yeah.
I think we
And
split
this guy. He has a 1 plasma.
Yeah, we'll just split the CP.
Okay. Okay, step ice. That's
Didn't
2 on
matter.
warfare, 1
Unfortunate.
on oath. Then we do this guy, everything in here. A bolter. Yeah. Yeah, I can see a guy that is not in the forest, so on 2s, and then on 3s. So this many. Oh, no, you have cover, so 4-ups. Oh, kills 3. And then the storm cannon on 2s and on 3s. That many AP2. You have everybody in cover? Yeah. Cool.
That got a guy on a wound.
Mm-hmm. Has to charge. Unfortunate, but it's what it is. Okay. We go into charge phase.
Did he advance yet though?
No, it's 21. He was here.
He's 21. Okay.
Okay. So he will charge first into this guy. 9 is fine. And then the Terminators into your Grandmaster. That's a 7. Drago's gonna say hello no matter what though, next turn. So
Here comes the charge on the Grandmaster. Hopefully he can
oops, I gone there.
keep that keep that damage after the 3+ invuln. Gonna have to use the invuln here and kind of hope for the best on our damage, our swings back.
Okay, so 8 guys striking, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I do have 9 guys. I revived 1, and I lost 1 or 2. Oh, I just lost 1. Yeah, so 9 is fine. So 9 guys striking. It's 28. You wanna do your free up invul?
Yeah, I'm doing my 3 up.
Sorry?
Yeah, 3 up.
Okay.
It's an interesting
So
defensive
freeze.
ability because it does proc when you are called to take the save. So unlike most defensive abilities, when your opponent goes to
100%
attack,
hits,
they
okay.
don't know what's gonna
Alrighty, and then freeze. Okay, not
Alright.
bad. 26 wounds.
That's pretty good. We need to make a ridiculous number of these, but we didn't. We failed like half of them.
Okay, probably could have.
Well, that is unfortunate.
That's now.
For Headstrong.
I don't know.
Grandmaster
So
drops.
We will just move like this, and that's fine. Okay. Something like that, yeah. Hop, hop. And I think that's my turn. Scoring. Get another 3 on off.
Yeah, so I think Headstrong can play a little bit of a delaying game here, but I don't know if he has a path to victory at this point.
Oh yeah, sorry. The swings. Still fine on me. Got 6 attacks right here.
The Rhino can disgorge the Interceptors, and they can maybe make it to this objective. These guys are objective secured thanks to Rights of War. Maybe the Brotherhood Tech Marine ports over to give them an OBSEC and break the banner. And they can, like, ritual it. Oh, yeah, that Grey Knight Marine goes down. Yeah, so that drops the banner as well on that side. I think that is probably going to do us for our poor Grey Knights here.
You score 4 times on you.
Yeah, and drops Headstrong to a 4. This Smash Talon Master, what a Chad. 21-inch move into a charge. Absolute boss.
I don't think.
Is there still something in there?
Yeah, there's 5 guys.
Alright, cool.
So might go for a charge on the Talon Master with the Interceptors. Don't hate that. Maybe that we
let's see what happens.
yeah, see how our psychic phase goes.
I'm
If you
super hopeful.
if you rinse the psychic phase real hard, you can maybe knock down most of these Deathwing Terminators and then fight them with Draco.
You get the guys up first.
Yep.
We also have a potential
I guess I
hammer
can
hand on
Drago,
these
reroll
guys,
to
which
this.
is good against the Deathwing, but the -1 damage on them is going to be not great.
Sorry, yeah.
At least these Noble Knights will go down in a blaze of glory. Seeing how many Deathwing Terminators they can take with them. I believe in them. These guys are the Sword Marines. And so like I was saying before, unlike the Interceptors, the Interceptors are only AP2, so they struggle a little bit with the Storm Shields. But the Strike Marines themselves are AP3, so they actually can punch through those Storm Shields pretty well.
Yeah.
Drago as well, AP4, 3 damage.
9-inch charge.
But the problem is that -1 damage effect is going to really cut down the amount of Terminators that get killed here. Interestingly, for the 3 damage attacks, the math isn't dramatically different because they have a 6-up damage ignore thanks to the Apothecary.
Yeah, I think this is not a play. The other thing would be to jump into the middle and just try and kill these characters.
Yeah.
Characters are the weak link here. Unfortunately, Paper is representing interrupt CP, so he can't go in and try to kill the damage ignore guy and then swing uninterrupted into the Deathwing Terminators. The Deathwing Terminators would for sure kill these models.
Alright. Let's just do a psychic phase. We'll do NCB. No. We'll do. There's no point for any purifying. We'll just smite with purple. It goes off.
Yeah. You're already in Psychic? Sorry, what?
Yeah. I failed my CP. I'm just gonna smite from purple into red.
I have 4 denies here, so I will try to deny this from blue. Denied.
Yep. Brotherhood Librarian. We'll send one for 3d6.
No, let's go.
Just start with a Purifying Flame. on a 6.
Try to deny with Ezekiel. Denied.
Ugh.
Vortex.
Brutal.
Goes
These
off on
psychic
7.
phases have been terrible
Ezekiel.
for the Grey Knights.
Denied.
Oh my god.
Drago will attempt amp. No. Sanctuary. Alright, Sanctuary.
You can have it.
Alright, Sanctuary. Hammer Hand. Okay, goes up on a 6.
Yeah, it's also fine.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call it here, because, like, I needed to
Yeah.
do some damage. It's like, whatever.
Yeah,
GG's.
for sure. Yeah, GG, thanks for the game. So you
Yeah.
wanna... How do you do it here?
Score doesn't matter, so it's like,
Oh,
whatever.
Yeah, alright. Thanks for the game. I think it's difficult for the Grey Knights.
Yeah, this is already like an uphill game, and
Yeah, looks like
then
that's it,
TTS
chat.
dice just do some crazy things sometimes.
Yeah,
This
those
was
psychic
quite-
phases were unfortunate for sure. it's,
Mm.
it's tough to watch.
I mean, I think I got about 4 spells off the whole game. It's,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, definitely. I think, especially missing the Gate of Infinity, right? Turn 2 when you went
Yeah.
to jump in the back.
yeah.
would've
So
been great.
basically, my Grandmaster made that jump into the back, and I could have killed these.
Yeah.
And then I killed these like Vengeances, and then maybe an attack bike or something, or make it like an ice charge. Like,
Right.
but then you can't shoot the Grandmaster, and then either pull the Terminators back to deal with him, or you shoot him, and I
It
kind of
gets it gets awkward. So screening there would have been smart, to be honest. But yeah, here's what it is.
Yeah. In turn 1, I probably should have pumped my AP and strength when I shot into the Talonmaster with this guy, but I wanted the CP for this charge. But
Hmm.
maybe just killing this Talonmaster turn 1 would have been better.
Yeah.
So him living on 2 was annoying.
Yeah.
It was just a game of inches. Everything just lived on like 1, and I'm like, oh my god. And it's all just 100% efficient still, so I'm like, well, fuck. Now it's 2 turns to kill everything, and I need to kill everything this turn. It's like, alright, well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unlikely that Dread Knight kills one of these, but then, like, it's still, like, meh. It's annoying.
Alright. Thanks for the game.
Yeah,
No
thanks
worries.
for the game, guys. Paper, congratulations on taking it down.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Looking forward to get my rematch with Josie.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, how are you feeling about those Necrons? They got those Catan shards. They're gonna do some mortal wounds.
Yeah, it's a good player for sure. So,
Like, how's it list changing go? I thought it was 2 games, then you could change, so she could not even be on Necron.
That's true. Yeah, she could rock
oh,
something
okay.
else.
All right. Didn't know that. Good to know.
Yeah.
Everyone could be on something else.
Yeah. Yeah, you might not even be on Dark Angels. You know, who knows? Maybe you're on Necrons. It's all up in the air.
No, it's gonna be something broken. That's for sure.
Fair enough. Yeah, that is definitely the 40k experience.
Yeah. Like, I don't think there's matchups unwinnable with Grey Knights, but on WTC it's way harder. Like, player placed, I would actually feel like pretty good in this matchup, because as long as I can sit on 2 and not have like Talonmasters just going 21 inches and blasting me off like my side objectives, I'm like, that's fine. And then I can kind of just trade more for the middle, and then
Yeah,
it's
I think.
not as bad. But WTC is just good for Dark Angels, right? It's like you got the 2
Yeah.
bricks, and then like things that move 21
For sure.
inches, and then you can just take advantage of the. I mean, it's good for Grey Knights too, but not so much in Dark Angels when my shooting does nothing.
I think
Yeah,
if you
Mhm.
if you use your Librarian a bit more, the Terminator bricks are actually in danger. So
So it's like I can move him into range, but his spells are 9 and 12, so I have to bump his range to not be instantly charged by what's left. And it's like,
Yeah.
maybe I could have teleported him into the back, but I only made like 1 gate, so it's like, he
it's
probably
such
would've-
a CP intensive army. You shunted each turn. That's like 60
Almost, almost each turn, just because I need to get teleport assault and I can't rely on gate going off. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about just cutting like Rites of War and just starting with another CP, just because I want CP so badly.
Mhm.
Like Sigil can't be cut, the Walletrit and the Librarian can't be cut. divination is like should net you an extra 2 CP overall. Because should go off 3 times in a game and it costs 1, so yeah, it's like a net 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, just I want the CPs.
Right.
I don't like how like unreliable their psychic phase is. It's always the same against Grey Knights. If they had a little bit more reliable psychic phase, I think they would be amazing.
Well, they've costed all our spells. Like we have +1 to cast still. Like Gate being all our important spells being a 7 is like so ridiculous. Like okay, we have no bonuses to cast. Our only thing is it costs a CP to roll 3d6, and you know Nids can do that for free.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens if the new edition comes out in the summer. But yeah, I don't think Grey Knights are bad. I think like we crush Eldar, we crush a lot of stuff. It's just Dark Angels are tough.
Yeah, I agree. All right, but cool.
Yeah, thanks
cool game,
and
yeah, thanks for playing, and have a nice evening or day for you.
Yeah, day. Yeah.
And have a good weekend.
Right, I'm heading off. Bye.
Bye.
All right, chat. Grey Knight Psychic Phase is the weakness of the Codex. Yeah, I agree. It is pretty unfortunate for them, especially compared to like where they were at the end of 8th edition, with or you know in their Psychic Awakening days, where their Psychic Phase was instead extremely reliable. They had lots and lots of ways to combo together buffs for it. But no longer. They've lost all those effects, and now just sort of hope to roll high enough to get their powers off, which is tough. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Keep in mind we are going to be streaming tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit late for those of you who are over on the East Coast. We're streaming at 11 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. So tomorrow, it's I guess like 31 hours from now is going to be the number. That first game is going to be Arnhem versus Jonah. So that'll be Chaos Demons versus Dark Angels. Another Dark Angels, but this time Slaanesh Demons, which I think actually have some very, very efficient profiles into these Deathwing Terminators. The scary part is the shooting. The return fire shooting from those Talon Masters is also lethal against Slaanesh Demons, but sometimes they just refuse to die thanks to Demonic Invulnerability. So that'll be an interesting game. I'm excited for that one. Then, immediately after that one, that's going to be early morning Sunday, basically, at about 2 a.m. U.S. Eastern. It's going to be Max G versus Patrick Prax. It's going to be Asuryani versus Grey Knights. We'll see. This is Patrick's second game in a row against Asuryani. It'll be interesting to see if he can get out of that one and prove Headstrong wrong here that Grey Knights just destroy the Asuryani matchup. I want to apologize if I was a little bit low energy today. I'm actually sick right now, and so I was trying to keep myself going throughout the game. But I appreciate everyone for hopping in and hanging out with me in the chat. Big thanks to our sponsors as well for the event, GameMat.eu. You can use coupon code TT10 there for 10% off all your mats and 3D terrain. 3D6 Wargaming gets you all sorts of neoprene mats and gaming accessories. And VoxLink is a new community building tabletop gaming app that is going on Kickstarter on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, the 21st of February. Make it much easier to find games with local players and find local communities to play with. All right, with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. I'll see everybody tomorrow evening. Remember to keep it classy, folks. Have happy wargaming, and watch the